Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Hey guys, how is everybody doing? We have reached the end of the Silent Night, Deadly Night series with its 2012 remake, Silent Night. And no, I'm not talking about the 2023 film that came out this year. Ugh, ugh. Up with my positives on Silent Night is I do like the killer Santa in this movie to where I think he's the best killer that we've gotten in this entire series. Yeah, sure, you got Billy from the original, who was a character that we felt bad for and felt sympathy for, but I like my killers with some mystery, but Billy did not have that. And then we got Ricky.
Garbage day! Huh? No!
Three times. Both the original Ricky and some homeless dude. And then you got Pino.
Mommy, I love you! I love you!
But this is easily the best killer that we've gotten in the Silent Night, Deadly Night series, and I do like how he's mysterious, and the movie tries to have you guess who it is throughout the entire film. And he's just and he also just looks cool. Like I like how he uses like a plastic mask, and he glues on a fake beard to it. That was pretty clever for a killer Santa Claus, and I don't think I've ever seen any other killer Santa Claus do that. Next positive is I really do like the main character. This is something I was really hoping to see in the original film, and that is a solid main character that we can really enjoy and like. And this film instantly gave me that. Who was played by Jamie King, who I have a rocky relationship with her when it comes to certain movies, but I do like her in this movie to where the main character, where she's a cop because of her dad, because he's a retired cop, and he got her the job of being an officer. And throughout the entire film, she kind of questions if she is fit to be an officer, and wonders if she is good enough to become an officer. And she does detective work to find the killer, and but yet struggles here and there and makes mistakes and has bumps throughout the road doing it. I like the main character. You root for her and you feel bad for her, especially when she finds her dead father in the film. I actually kind of felt sad for her, and it was a pretty impactful moment to see that she had to force to see her father dead. That was a pretty hard moment for me. Like, cause I felt bad for the main character, and this is a character that I actually cared for and liked, and this franchise never really gave me a character like that. Next positive is I do like the kills of this movie to where they're really creative. My favorite kill in the movie is to where it involves a porn star getting cut up in a wood chipper. Porn star wood chipper. Oh my, that sounds weird saying out loud. The porn star died from a wood chipper. Think about that. No, seriously, think about that. But, yeah, I guess that's the thing. And one of my favorite kills was something I was so happy to see, where we meet probably the meanest little girl in history.
Doing, honey? Those are Mommy's heart pills. I need those.
You need to take me to the mall.
But I thought we'd go to church tonight.
Fuck church. I want my new LV today.
Why don't you wait?
My lord. Yeah, she deserved to die, bitch. Anyways, I do like the kills. They're very creative and fun, and like any slasher horror film should be, they're creative, but a bit of humor mixed in there here and there. I guess you can really put these two together as like one big positive. But my positive that kind of goes along with the kills is that I do like how the kills are actually where there's people that are actually naughty and actually should die. One of the things I kind of had like a nitpick with in the original Silent Night, Deadly Night is that I felt that some of the people that died in the original shouldn't have really died, because there are some people here and there that didn't need to deserve to die. Yeah, sure, there was a few people there here and there that needed to die because they were naughty, like stealing a sled and stuff like that. But some people that died in the original, I kind of felt never needed to die, and I was kind of like, did they really need to die? Because I felt that they shouldn't have. But in the remake, they do something about that to where they actually punish naughty people, like people making porn on the internet. You got the meanest little girl ever, like I talked about, and then even in the opening, the Santa Claus punishes two people to a woman who's unfaithful and has been cheating on her husband, and a guy who's been sleeping with the married woman. That there shows that those two actually needed to be punished because there was an actual reason there. But the one kill that I kind of questioned throughout this entire film was the sheriff's death, played by Malcolm McDowell. I really question why he needed to die because I did not see one part of the film to where I felt he needed to die. Maybe because he was questioning random people and he put random people in jail that were innocent. Maybe that was it, but they don't explain it, and that was the only death in this movie that I really questioned. Yeah, maybe you can question the dad's death in this movie, but if you watch the towards the end of this movie, you'll know that because the Santa Claus killed him was because the cop killed the killer Santa Claus's dad back in the day, and that's why he killed him. Yeah, sure, that seems stupid when he was innocent and the guy didn't need to die, but looking at the killer Santa Claus point of view, he did kill his dad, but at the same time, the guy was only doing his job. I don't know. But the kills did actually have people dying because they were actually naughty, which I had a big issue with in the original film. Thing I did really like about this film is that it actually did its own thing to where it didn't feel like a Silent Night Deadly Night remake. I honestly think if this movie had like a different title to it and took out some of the homages to the original, this could work as its own film, but as a remake to Silent Night Deadly Night, it works, but I feel that this movie could have been a whole lot better if it maybe was its own film because it does take that Silent Night Deadly Night type theme to it and story to it, but it could be its own film if you really think about it, because you got a killer Santa Claus killing naughty people from town to town, and it's a Guess Who film. That I really liked, but it does sprinkle in homages to the original, like the Catatonic Grandpa, the Antler Death, and of course, a Garbage Day reference, because of course there was. But this movie, it could be its own film. If you took out the homages to the original, this movie is its own thing, which I think that every remake should do. My one rule about a remake, if I were to watch it, is that you just take the tiny bit of story of the original Silent Night, Deadly Night, a Santa Claus killing people like that are naughty, and they just make it its own thing. And this remake does exactly that. And that's why I don't usually like remakes, because they just take a film and just redo it all over again when it's a movie I've already seen before. But this movie takes the original and makes it its own thing, which every remake should do, and sprinkle in a few homages to the original here and there. I really like the cast of this movie, mainly Michael McDowell and Jamie King. I love Michael McDowell mostly because of A Clockwork Orange, which is one of my favorite movies ever made. And oddly enough, Malcolm McDowell did star in the Rob Zombie Halloween remakes. I remember when I actually watched this movie for the first time when Malcolm McDowell had just starred in those two films, and I found out he was in a remake of Silent Night, Deadly Night. I kind of groaned because I didn't like him in the Halloween remakes, and I didn't know how I would feel about him in this movie. But surprisingly, he pulled it off, and I also kind of thought he was pretty funny here and there, where he kind of thinks he's this old badass that always gets his man, and it doesn't usually work in every scene, but it's funny. And I also like Jamie King in this movie, better known as in the remake of My Bloody Valentine. Jeez, what's with this cast being in a lot of remakes? Although I don't like the My Bloody Valentine remake, I do like Jamie King in this movie. Or like I said about her main character earlier, she's likable and she plays her part well. Final positive is I do like how this movie is a Guess Who mystery. I'm a sucker for a Guess Who mystery and a horror slasher, and that's why I like a lot of horror slashers, to where at the end you try to guess at that who the killer is and which one of these people that we met is the killer. And this movie does have that Guess Who, and I really like it. And this movie does keep you guessing until the end. And I'll get to that soon. And when the reveal is shown, you're a bit shocked and you didn't know it was that person. Mainly because in this movie you never met the character. But the Guess Who mystery in this movie was pretty good and it kept me guessing throughout the entire film. Moving on to my negatives, and I only have one big issue, and this goes along with the Guess Who horror mystery, and that is the reveal at the end of who the killer is. My issue with it is because we never met the character, and it's a character that we only kind of find out in like one sequence of the film to where we meet a drug dealer who tells the story about a guy who killed his ex-wife with a flamethrower. And what I found interesting that it was apparently actually based on a true story to where it was named like the Govia Massacre or something like that, where an ex-husband crashed his ex-wife's Christmas party, killed a whole bunch of people with a handmade flamethrower and a gun. Kind of messed up, and I didn't even know that was a real thing. But the killer reveal is just bland and is a character we never met. And apparently, in the flashback sequence of this movie, where we find out that the dad got killed, that his son was with him in the back seat of his truck and watched everything happen. But we don't even know the guy's name, and we don't even know his fucking name until the credits roll. Like, if it didn't show the guy's name in the credits, and it only showed it like Killer Santa or Santa Claus, you wouldn't know who the fucker is. And it's a huge letdown because this movie had a lot of potential to build up something. Maybe if we met a character, maybe have some character here who maybe is a cop, or maybe is a character that we do like until we find out that he's the killer Santa Claus and he wants to punish naughty people. But we don't get that, and we get some random character we've never fucking met. All in all, guys, I don't really have much issues with this film. I really like the Silent Night remake, and it's one of those remakes where I would say is better than the original. And I hardly ever say that, and I don't usually like remakes. This is a good film. It takes the original and makes it its own thing. Like I said earlier, what every remake should do. And I think this remake should have gotten a sequel. I honestly think that this remake could have gotten its own franchise because this is exactly what I wanted the original film to be. Yeah, sure, I enjoy the original film, but this is what the original film should have been, and I do see myself rewatching this every year along with the original film. So, anyways, if you like the original film, but if you wanted a better Guess Who horror mystery film, this film is definitely for you. And if you want to watch a good horror holiday film during the Christmas season, this is one of those horror holiday films I would recommend to you. This is one of those films where I definitely recommend that you go out and buy it. Do you guys think about the Silent Night remake? Have you seen it? What do you think about it? Do you prefer Silent Night Deadly Night, or do you prefer this film, Silent Night? Let me know in the comments below, and we will talk about it. If you like this video, like it. If you love to subscribe, hit the bell notification so you will get notified for my latest videos. And of course, until next time, I'll see you all next time. I messed that up, but Merry Christmas.